We'll go with the Snowflake. So hi everyone, myself Pawan. So I'm your Snowflake tutor. Okay. So I'll give a little bit introduction about Snowflake. Okay. So previously, like before 2016, like that. So we use Snowflake only for data warehousing purpose, like to store and process the huge volume of data. Okay, now they are completely moved to this AI thing. Okay, they are completely moved to this AI thing, AML both. Okay, and they have introduced n number of applications or objects in the Snowflake. Okay, now Snowflake is not about data warehousing. It's about processing huge volume of data, building AML application using these objects or using these services. Okay, so in the Snowflake, so we have a Snowpark. Okay, why we use Snowpark? To process huge volume of data. Okay, so we have a Streamlit to build ML models, like to give the predictions. Okay, we use this Streamlit. So like that, we have different services for a different purpose. Okay, so now Snowflake is not about a data warehousing, it's about AML. So now the Snowflake is calling them as a Snowflake Cloud AI. So let me go to Google. So if I search Snowflake, so they have renamed them as a Snowflake AI Data Cloud. Okay, because they added all the AML services into their environment. So now Snowflake is far, far from the data warehousing. So that is a little bit introduction about the Snowflake. Okay. Hmm. So yeah, so I have around 10 years of experience on both on-premises and cloud environment. Uh, while I started my career, I work as a PL SQL developer in Oracle. Later, I migrated to this Snowflake. From past 4 years, I'm completely working on Snowflake. Okay, so I have experience on banking, e-commerce, and healthcare. Okay, so along with the Snowflake, I have worked with the Postgres and BigQuery as well. Okay, so in my previous projects, so I have done the migrations from Postgres to BigQuery. So I have multiple cloud knowledge, I can say. Okay. So in this course, I'm going to share all my real-time experience with you guys. Okay. So what are the issues I have faced in the real time? So how I have built the application, what is the architecture we followed, everything we are going to share with you in this course. Okay. So these are the Snowflake topics I'm going to cover in this course. Okay. So like I'm going to cover the from scratch, like from the SnowSQL to the AML, like the Streamlit up to Streamlit, I'm going to teach you in this course. Okay. Okay. So in this course, first we are going to start with SnowSQL. Then we are going to discuss about ETL, then the Snowflake scripting, and then so we have Snowflake core concepts like time travel, copy cloning, role management, masking policies, all those things. Then we are going to deal with third-party applications like DBT, Fivetron, and Metlian. This DBT and Fivetron, Metlian, we use it for ETL purpose. Then we have Bash, okay. Then this Git to GitHub, and finally we are going to do one end-to-end project with by using this Zira. Zira is a project management tool. So these are the topics I'm going to cover in this course. Okay. Okay. So, and again, we are going to do one project, okay, end-to-end project. And that project is going to schedule by using this Airflow. Okay. So here we are going to, I'm not going to cover entire Airflow, but how to schedule a job, how to create a DAG, those things I'm going to share you with you. Okay. So after completing this course, I recommended you guys to learn this Cortex A Streamlit. Okay, this is a separate course. This is completely AML related thing. So you have some basic understanding of Snowpark. Okay, and then you need to learn these Cortex A and Streamlit things for the future reference. So this course we are providing for extra cost. Okay, if you guys require this, you can contact the institute. Okay, so these are the projects we are going to build. We are going to place files in the cloud environment. Okay, and we are going to process the data using this Medallion architecture. So we are going to assume I'm going to place the files in S3 bucket, AWS S3 bucket. by using Snowflake objects. Okay, Snowflake objects. I'm going to process these data. So what are the objects I'm going to use? I'm going to use stage, storage integration, like that. By using copy command, I'm going to load the data. Then I'm going to schedule this end-to-end pipeline by using task. Task is a Snowflake object where we can schedule these procedures and all those things. Okay, so this is the project one. In the project two, okay, either we are going to use some OLTP database like MS SQL or PostgreSQL. Okay, so we are going to extract and load it into our Snowflake. Okay, and by using either Fivetron or Metlian, then we are going to transform the data from layer to layer by using the DBT, and entire thing will be scheduled in the Airflow. So these are the two projects I'm going to cover in this course. Okay, any doubts up to the course content and the project, what we are going to do? Any doubts you have?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to share you the PPT in the group. Okay, if you have any doubts or if you want to highlight any topic, you can just ask me directly. I will be available in the group. You can talk to me one to one. Okay, next, next. Next. Okay. So in this course, I'm going to repeat every topic twice. Okay. One on PPT, another on the tool. In the Snowflake, we are going to execute the queries. So if you are not able to understand here, you can easily grab it here because Snowflake is completely with the SQL. Okay. So if you want to create any pipeline or anything, you can do by using simple SQL keywords. So it is very easy to understand and learn. Okay. So yeah. Next, in this course, I'm going to share you the data sets for practice, the scripts, what I'm executing in the class that I'm going to share with you, the presentation slides, and we are going to complete two projects in the Snowflake. Okay, so how easy learning Snowflake? Okay, so yeah, so as highlighted before, we are going to going with the 2 months course. Okay, it takes 2 months to complete this course. Okay, so assume 10 days for SQL and 10 days for ETL, and then 10 days for core concepts, and then DBT for 10 days. Okay, so if you are not doing practice or if you are not doing some revision, right, you may forgot the topics. Okay, at the end of the course, you may remember the DBT and Python, but the other things you may forgot. So you just need practice and revision for the entire course or until you get the job. You need to do keep on practicing and revisioning every week. So that is what I suggest you guys. Okay, so that's it. So attend all the class, read the documents what I am providing, practice it. Okay, prepare for the interview and get the job. So if you are planning for certification, this course will be helpful. Okay, I'm going to add all the certificate related topics in the course. Okay, so that you can easily crack the certification as well. So we have CO3 certification. Uh, okay, this required little knowledge on AI also. So here we need you have some knowledge on this Cortex AI as well. So that I'm going to provide you with the documentation. You can go with that. Okay. So this is the CO3 certification launched by Snowflake recently in the March. Okay, this will be very helpful while giving the interviews. These have some weightage in the interview. So any notes, guys? Okay, fine. Done. That's it about Snowflake. In course content, the roadmap, how we are going to learn. Okay. So let me show you something for you guys. Uh, Let me open Snowflake. 1 minute. My system was hung. Okay. Now where is the notes? Here is the notes. Wait. Okay. Let me open the notes. Let me refresh why it was hung. 1 minute, guys. I'll open the new tab. Okay, I think it was memory issue. Okay. Okay. Now it will be fast. I have closed multiple tabs. Let me go with the Snowflake again. So yeah, PostgreSQL. Okay, so I'm sharing some Excel with you. Okay, what exactly you need to do in the Excel? Okay, whenever you have done the practice, whenever you have done the practice, just update that particular sheet so that it will be helpful for me to understand how much you are learning. Okay, so let me open the Snowflake. Okay, so in the Snowflake, I have created one sheet for you guys. Let me open that sheet. Okay, so I'm going to share you this edition. This is the class schedule one. Let me close this. Okay, so these are the topics I'm going to cover. First, we are going to start with the introduction. Today, we already discussed about the roadmap. So, and we are going to discuss about the software layers. So, these are the topics. Okay, we are going to discuss day by day. So, first, we are going to start with introduction, then the NoSQL. Okay, then we are going to discuss about the ETL, then the core concepts, then the Snowflake scripting. So once we are done with the Snowflake objects and complete Snowflake, we are going to discuss about the DBT, then Snowpark, and then we are going to end up the session. Okay. So yeah, this is the roadmap, what I'm going to teach you guys. Okay. I'm sharing with you. Okay. If you have any doubts, you can go with this slide. Okay. So, and if you want to add something, okay, if you want to add some new topics like sampling like that, okay, which you required, then let me know. Okay. I'll try to add those concepts in this current course. Okay. So, yeah, that's it. Yeah, let me continue now. So now today we are going to discuss about a few topics, okay, like what is the difference between on-premises, SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS. Okay, now we are going to understand, okay, these layers in the IT industry. Okay, so let me continue from here. Okay, assume I have joined in one company. Okay, and the client want to build a mobile pipeline. Okay, he want to build one mobile application and he want to build the pipeline for the data. Okay, the data I'm getting from the mobile. Okay, now business owner will explain everything to the business analyst and the solution architect. Okay, whatever the requirements that product owner has given, that was sorted and properly, how you can say, properly create a sprints. Okay, మన బిజినెస్ అనలిస్ట్ ఏం చేస్తాడంటే స్ప్రింట్స్ ని క్రియేట్ చేస్తాడు. ఓకే, సో ఫస్ట్ డిజైనింగ్, ఇంప్లిమెంటేషన్, డెవలప్మెంట్, టెస్టింగ్, డిప్లాయ్మెంట్ లైక్ దట్ హీ విల్ క్రియేట్ ఏ ఫ్లో అండ్ హీ విల్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ టు ద సొల్యూషన్ ఆర్కిటెక్ట్. Okay, based on the inputs from the business analyst, first solution architect will procure the ఐటమ్స్ దట్ రిక్వైర్డ్ ఫర్ బిల్డింగ్ ద అప్లికేషన్. సో నేను ఏదైతే అప్లికేషన్ బిల్డ్ చేద్దాం అనుకుంటున్నానో మొబైల్ యాప్ డేటాని ప్రాసెస్ చేయడానికి, సో దానికి కావాల్సిన ఎక్విప్మెంట్ మొత్తం ప్రొక్యూర్మెంట్ టీమ్కి అలొకేట్ చేస్తారు. ప్రొక్యూర్మెంట్ టీమ్ ఈజ్ గోయింగ్ టు పర్చేస్ దోస్ ఐటమ్స్. Okay, so what are the items that we use it in the real time? Okay, so we use this LANs, CPUs, all those things, right? Servers. Okay, so here we have n number of things రిక్వైర్డ్ దట్ టు బిల్డ్ ద ప్రాజెక్ట్. సో ఇక్కడ మనకి చాలా ఐటమ్స్ అనేవి కావాలి, లైక్ కంప్యూటర్స్ కానీ, సిపియూస్ కానీ, సర్వర్స్ కానీ, ల్యాన్స్, కేబుల్స్, ఆల్ దోస్ థింగ్స్ వి రిక్వైర్ టు built the application. So here you need to learn what exactly mean by server. Okay, ఈ సర్వర్ అనే వర్డ్ ని మీరు రియల్ టైమ్ లో ఒక 100 టైమ్స్ వింటారు. ఓకే, సర్వర్ విల్ బి కాల్డ్ విత్ డిఫరెంట్ నేమ్స్ లైక్ విఎం, నోట్స్, virtual machine, like that. We have a number of names. So everything, these all are nothing but a server. Okay, what exactly mean by server? What are the components are there in the server? Same, how our CPU have. In our CPU, we have RAM, hard disk, okay, cables and fans, all those things, right? Same will be available in the సర్వర్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్. ఓకే, మనకి మన పర్సనల్ కంప్యూటర్స్లో ఏవైతే హార్డ్వేర్ కాంపోనెంట్స్ ఉంటాయో సర్వర్లో కూడా అవే ఉంటాయి విత్ సమ్ ఎక్స్ట్రా పోర్ట్స్. ఓకే, సో that's it about server. Okay, so this server I cannot host it in my home or in office. Why? I may have power fluctuations or internet fluctuations. ఓకే, ఈ సర్వర్ని మన ఇంట్లో కానీ ఆఫీస్లో కానీ హోస్ట్ చేస్తే ఏమవుతుందంటే మనకు పవర్ పోయింది అనుకోండి, సర్వర్ డౌన్ అవుతుంది, రైట్? సర్వర్ వర్క్ అవ్వదు, అంటే అప్లికేషన్ని ఎవరు యాక్సెస్ చేయలేరు, రైట్? ఇంటర్నెట్ స్లో ఉంది, సో అవతల వ్యక్తికి మన అప్లికేషన్ అనేది యాక్సెస్ అవ్వదు. సో ఇలా ఇష్యూస్ ఉంటాయి కాబట్టి వాట్ ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ కంపెనీస్ విల్ డూ, they will place or they will host the server in server warehouses. So there will be a server warehouses provided by Google, Microsoft, Amazon, all these guys. Okay, there we will host our server. Okay, and here I'm going to pay rent for each rack. Each rack, the rent may be starting from 20 to 30,000. Okay, fine, I have done with agreement with this warehouse guy. Okay, and I have placed these servers. What will be the next step? Okay, if I want to insert some records or if I want to insert some data every day, I cannot go to the server warehouses, right? Okay, to insert the data, right? So what we do, we purchase some IP and port numbers. Okay, so now, and this guy will configure the IP and port numbers to these servers. Now, by using this IP and port number, we can access this server anywhere in the world. Okay, so I don't need to go to warehouse daily to run the application or to store the data, right? So we can do it from anywhere in the world by using this IP and port number. Okay, next, what will be the next step? Done, I have done the configuration, the IP and port number configuration.
ఇంకా నైకీకి వెళ్తున్నావా సార్?
Hello. Okay, so once I have done this configuration, okay, what will be the next step? ఇప్పుడు మన కంప్యూటర్ కొంటాం, what will be the next step? OS installation, right? How we choose the OS? Based on my requirement. If I want to if I purchase the laptop for watching the movies, okay, or playing the music or to play the games, I go with the Windows. It's a general OS, okay. But if I want to learn Python or some PHP, everything, right? Linux will be the preferable one. Linux is very fast with the Python and this PHP type of application. So based on my requirement, I install my OS, right? In the same way, based on the type of application that companies are going to build, based on their technologies, they are going to install the OS. If I want to creating application on .NET, I go with the Windows. If I'm going to create the application on Python, I go with this Linux or Unix. So who is going to tell the applications, the languages and all those things? Business analyst. Business analyst is going to suggest to these guys, just install the Linux in the server. Okay, then, so OS installation is done. Next, what will be the thing that users need to do? Environment setup. Okay, if I want to play some video, if I want to play some music, I cannot play directly, right? I need VLC video player or Windows media player to run to create the environment for video to play. In the same way, if I want to run the application, I need to set up the environment. Okay, for example, if you take Java, okay, I cannot run the Java code directly, right? First, I need to install the JDK. Then only I can run the Java application. Okay, so DevOps guy is going to do the environment setup. Okay, then finally the application, what will be there in the application? Front end, middleware and database. Okay, so if you take the Facebook as example, okay, let me take Facebook as example. Okay, so here, whatever the input fields you are seeing, what are the names you are seeing, what are the validation you are seeing, everything was designed by using this HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay, few companies may use Angular or React, that's a different story. But most of these input fields, colors, all those things was designed by using this HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Next, if I submitted here, all my details are going to store in the database. So database, we use database for storing the data. Who is going to store the data? Middleware. What are the middleware applications we have? We have .NET, Java, Ruby Rails, Python. We have n number of backend application. What is the thing that backend will do? So it will validate and insert the records or retrieve the records from the database. So that is all about application. So we design the pages using this HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Okay, we store the data in a database. We have multiple options are there: Postgres, Oracle, MySQL, like that. And there will be a backend who is going to deliver the data from front end to database. To and fro process is going to taken care by this middleware guy. So application was built by using these three: front end, middleware, and the database. Okay, so same thing. So business owner has given requirement, BA will properly sort the task and allocate to the respective teams. Based on the task, so field engineers will come to the picture, they will do all the setup, network team will put all the cables and IP configuration, storage admins will create the environments, backup team will create a backup servers for to to manage this resource. Okay, and finally, application team will build the application by using front end, middleware, and database, and they will deploy on the server. Okay, so this process is very costly. Okay, if I want to do this setup, okay, for running my application, okay, or to store my data, this is very costly process. Okay, and it has some limitations. What are the limitations? Slow deployment. If I want to deploy one application, I need to wait 1 month for doing all these things. That is the first point. Second one, expensive. So each server will cost 2 to 4 lakhs based on the specifications. Okay. Again, I need to pay salaries for all these guys. Okay. We have n number of teams involved. I need to pay salaries for all those guys. Okay. And these guys are required for managing that particular database as well. Okay. Next, a limited automation. So if any errors happen or anything, any deployments I need to do, everything need to do manually. Human error. So if anyone is leave or if the guy has deployed wrong files, okay. So we have faced a lot of issues in the real time, inconsistency and wasted resource. So all these are the drawbacks related to on premises. Okay. So these cloud guys, okay, AWS, Azure, and GCP has understand this situation. So they have fulfilled or they have provided the solution. Okay. So in the form of they have provided the solution in the form of, I can say, IaaS, infrastructure as service, which means they already have their own setup. Okay. So they are going to provide all these things in a pay as you go model. So if I'm storing 1 TB of data, I'm going to pay $20 only. If I want to do get the same on the on-premises, I need to spend at least 4 to 5 lakhs. Okay, so that much cheap they have made it. Okay, so they have done everything in the virtual mode and they are providing it as a pay-as-you-go model. Okay, so here infrastructure end-to-end will be taken care by the cloud provider. You just need to create the environment and deploy your application. Okay, the server components, hardware components, software, okay, like OS and all those things, networking, storage, all these things will be taken care by these cloud providers. Okay, you can deploy the application within a days. Okay, this we call it as infrastructure as service, IaaS. So here infrastructure will be taken care by client. Okay, environment setup and application is going to taken care by us, nothing but company. Okay, now who is going to do this environment setup? DevOps guy is going to do this setup. So he's going to create the environments for application team to deploy into the server. So he use n number of tools for doing this setup. Okay, it's a different story. The Docker, Kubernetes, all these things are a different story. We don't require that. But DevOps guy is going to take care about this infrastructure. So by using this IaaS model, so deployments will be done within a day. We don't require months, and it is very cheap. Okay, so the storage, all these things are very cheap. Okay, limited automation, so everything will be automated. Okay, no need of any human interference here. As there is no human interference, there is no errors. Okay, there is no inconsistency. I don't need to waste my amount on the resources. Okay, so these are the uh, benefits I get if I go with this infrastructure as service. Okay. Now assume even though I'm using IAS model, still I'm facing a lot of issues with the team members. Okay. I'm paying huge salaries to this DevOps guy. Okay. Each DevOps guy salary will be starting from 20 to 25 lakhs. Okay. And there are errors while deploying, or there is inconsistency in my application. So I don't want to take this burden as well. So that is the reason these cloud providers are starting providing a providing the services where you don't need to take care about this middleware as well. Okay. End to end will be taken care by the cloud provider. You are going to use the service. Okay. So those services are like Snowflake, Databricks, BigQuery, Dataproc. All these are like a PaaS service. So here, infrastructure plus middleware or the runtime environment will be taken care by the cloud provider. You are going to build your application and you are going to use the service. By using this method, I can save a lot of amount. Okay. And the first one, the workload. Okay. I don't need to take any risk. Everything will be taken care by the cloud provider. Okay. This we call it as a PaaS model. And then finally we have a SaaS where end to end will be taken care by cloud provider. We are just going to use the application. That's it. Okay, so that's it about on-premises, IaaS, and PaaS. Any doubts up to here, team? Any doubts?
No, no, we are good.
Okay, so as a data engineer, as a Snowflake data engineer, what are the services, PaaS services I'm going to use? So there are four important PaaS services. We are going to use it in the real time. Okay, one is storage service, second one is database, third one is ETL, fourth one is VM. So I'll give little bit introduction about these services. Okay, so as a Snowflake data engineer, we are going to use these four services in a simple way. Everything through UI. You don't need to worry to write lines of codes. You don't need to write anything. Everything will be taken care by Snowflake. You use just a few SQL lines, okay, to create and to use those సర్వీసెస్. ఓకే. ఇవన్నీ ఈ సర్వీసెస్ ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో ఈ 4 సర్వీసెస్ దీనికి మీరు పేజెస్ కోడ్ ఏం రాయవసరంలా. పైథాన్‌లో, జావాలో, డాట్‌నెట్‌లో మీరు పేజెస్ కోడ్ ఏం రాయవసరంలా. వాడు మొత్తం మీకు చాలా క్లియర్‌గా యూఐ త్రూ ఎలా క్రియేట్ చేసుకోవాలి, ఎలా యాక్సెస్ చేయాలి, ఇవన్నిటిని యూఐ త్రూ ఇచ్చాడు. అలాంగ్ విత్ దట్ హీ హాస్ గివెన్ యూ కెన్ యాక్సెస్ దిస్ త్రూ సీక్వెల్. అంటే మీరు స్నోఫ్లేక్లో ఈ సర్వీసెస్ని యూఐ త్రూ క్రియేట్ చేసి యాక్సెస్ చేయగలరు అండ్ సీక్వెల్ త్రూ యాక్సెస్ చేసి యూస్ చేసుకోగలరు. ఓకే. సో ఇక్కడ మీరు చాలా కష్టపడాల్సిందే ఉండదు. ఓకే. ఎవ్రీథింగ్ విల్ బి టేకింగ్ కేర్ బై స్నోఫ్లేక్. యూ నీడ్ టు లెర్న్ హౌ టు యూజ్ ద సర్వీస్. దట్స్ ఇట్. మీరు ఇక్కడ నేర్చుకోవాల్సింది ఏంటంటే నేను పేజ్ ఆఫ్ కోడ్ ఏం రాయవసరం లేదు. జస్ట్ ఆ సర్వీస్ని ఎలా వాడాలో నేర్చుకుంటే చాలు. బేసిక్ సీక్వెల్ కనుక మీకు వచ్చి ఉంటే మీరు స్నోఫ్లేక్తో ఆడుకోవచ్చు అనమాట. అంత ఈజీగా ఉంటుంది స్నోఫ్లేక్ అనేది. ఓకే. కమింగ్ బ్యాక్. సో వాట్ ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ మీన్ బై విఎం? ఇందాక మనం ఆల్రెడీ డిస్కస్ చేసాం. వి ఆల్రెడీ డిస్కస్ దట్ సర్వర్ ఏదైతే ఉందో దాన్ని క్లౌడ్ వాడు ఏం చేశాడు, వెర్చువలైజ్ చేశాడు. విచ్ మీన్స్ యూ డోంట్ నీడ్ టు గో టు ఎనీ వేర్ హౌస్ టు డూ ద సెటప్. ఎవ్రీథింగ్ డన్ బై ద క్లౌడ్ ప్రొవైడర్. సో యూ జస్ట్ ఓపెన్ ద పోర్టల్. I'll go with one example. Let me open some. I'll show you with one example. So I'm going with the Google Cloud. Okay, I want one server with 128 GB RAM or 64 GB RAM. I don't need to go to any warehouse for doing the same, and I don't need to run any Linux, Unix commands for creating the environment. Everything will be taken care by the GCP. Okay, I'll just register in the portal. Okay, I'll open this compute engine, the compute engines, or you can use this VM as well. I'll go with the VM, not compute engine. I'll go with the VM. VM means virtual machines. VM instance. Okay. Just click on create instance. And here you can choose what are the specifications you required. I required this 128 GB RAM, right? Or I want to go with this 2800 memory. Okay. So this is my specification. You can see I'm going to pay for this model. What I'm using. See, I'm using it for 1 month. I'm going to pay just $130, which means around 10,000 rupees every month to the cloud provider. Okay, so if you take same thing in the on-premises, I need to purchase the server for 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs. Again, what I need to do, I need to pay for the rental as well, right? So I'm wasting a lot, like 4 to 5 lakhs rupees when I go with the on-premises, and it is a time-taking one. But here, everything is done within a clicks. I don't need to run any Unix or Linux command here. I can set up easily here. Everything it is through UI. Okay, so this we call it as a virtual machine. Why I use virtual machine? To deploy the application. Okay, to deploy the application. If I want to run some Python applications or .NET application or Java applications, I use this VM. Okay, so that's it. That's it about little bit introduction about VMs. VMs means virtual machines. Next, we have storage services. What are the storage services we have? If you take GCP, we have GCS. If you take AWS S3, like that, we have different cloud providers are providing different storage services. Why we use storage service? To store unstructured data. Why we are using this storage service? To store unstructured data. What exactly mean by unstructured data? Images, videos, videos, documents. If I want to store all these things in the cloud, I use this storage service. Okay. Then I have ETL service. So we have like Glue, in the GCP, we have data proc like that. So what exactly this ETL tools will do? These ETL tools will can connect with any data sources. It can connect with the database, storage service, or Kafka applications or IoT device. It need to extract the data and it need to remove the errors, nothing but transformation. And finally, it need to load it into the data warehouse. Okay, what is data warehouse? Data warehouse is nothing but a database. Why we use database? To store structured and semi-structured data in a organized way. We use database. So these are the 4 services. Okay, these are the 4 services we use in the real-time scenario as a data engineer. So data engineer గా మనం ఈ 4 services ని ఎక్కువగా యూజ్ చేస్తాం. Okay, along with that, so every cloud provider is providing 200 plus services for the for టు క్లయింట్స్ టు బిల్డ్ ద అప్లికేషన్. సో ఇలా వీళ్ళు 200 ప్లస్ సర్వీసెస్ని ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తున్నారు అప్లికేషన్ బిల్డ్ చేయడానికి. ఓకే, సో ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఐ వాంట్ టు ఇంటిగ్రేట్ గూగుల్ మ్యాప్స్. ఓకే, జస్ట్ ఐ విల్ గో టు జీసీపీ, ఐ విల్ ఎనేబుల్ ద మ్యాప్స్ ఏపీఐ అండ్ ఐ కెన్ యూజ్ ఇట్ ఇన్ మై అప్లికేషన్. దట్స్ హౌ ఇట్ ఈజీ. ఇట్స్ లైక్ ఎ ప్లే స్టోర్. Okay, in our Play Store, I want to play a game. I'll search it, I will install it, I will play it. In the same way, if I want some cloud services, I'll register in the portal, I enable the service, and I use it in my application. So that how they made it easy. Anta easy manaku chesaranamata. Clear? Any doubts? And the final one is SaaS, our Gmail, Outlook, and all those things. Here we are not going to build any application. Whatever the services they are providing, we use it for free or pay as you go model. So these are the 4 layers we have in our real-time scenario. As a Snowflake data engineer, we are going to work either in both IaaS and PaaS models, which means if I want to get data from multiple source systems, we are going to set up the environment in the any one of these cloud provider. Okay, and we are going to use by using ETL, we are going to extract, load, and transform the data in our Snowflake. I think that we are using both IaaS and PaaS service in our real time. Any doubts, guys? You like to add anything here? So Rakesh, Kumar, Maleshwara, Manoj, Nitish, Raghav, Venkatram, you want to add anything here? So you have any doubts related to this model?
No, sir.
So is it good or like is it going very fast? You are not able to catch any point. కష్టంగా అనిపిస్తుందా? ఐ మీన్ వెయిట్ ఎక్కువ ఉందా? అంతే బేసిక్స్ కాకుండా కొంచెం హెవీగా ఏమైనా అనిపిస్తుందా?
No, sir. It's okay.
ఓకే, ఫైన్. Okay, I'll give little bit introduction about Snowflake. Okay, I'll take 10 more minutes. I'll give some introduction about Snowflake and I'll end up the session. I will go with this. Okay, I'll go with Oracle for better understanding. Let me go with Oracle. Okay, we'll compare the difference between the traditional and the Snowflake. Okay, so for good understanding అంటే మనం స్నోఫ్లేక్ ఒరాకిల్ మధ్య కంపారిజన్ అనేది చేద్దాం సో దట్ మీకు స్నోఫ్లేక్ అనేది ఈజీగా అర్థమవుతుంది ఓకే సో దిస్ ఒరాకిల్ డేటాబేస్ అప్లికేషన్స్ విల్ బి హోస్టెడ్ ఆన్ ద సర్వర్ will host this Oracle database in the server only. So let me put the server symbol here for better understanding. Okay, we'll create on-premises servers. Okay, and we'll host our database in this server. Right. In the other hand, where this Snowflake was hosted, in the other hand, where the Snowflake was hosted, Snowflake was hosted in the cloud. In the cloud. Snowflake doesn't has its own infrastructure. Okay, so whatever the data you are storing, whatever the data you are processing, everything is done through everything is done through this cloud provider. So Snowflake doesn't has its own infrastructure. So while registering in the Snowflake account, we choose one of the cloud provider. So whatever the data you are storing or you are processing, right, it will be done through this one of the cloud provider. So Snowflake is cloud native. Okay, in the other hand, you can host this Oracle in on-premises data center or in the cloud as well. Okay, when it comes to cloud, it's completely cloud native, which means so while registering, you are going to choose one of the cloud provider. So now whatever the data you are inserting into this database will be stored in this cloud cloud only. Clear? So that is the first point related to Snowflake you need to understand. So Snowflake is completely cloud native. Okay. Coming to the second one. Okay. Coming to the second point. It's a data platform, which means it's a data platform, which means so if I want to access the data or if I want to insert the data, everything will done through SQL. As Snowflake is a data platform, everything is done through SQL. Okay, so it has all your data. What exactly mean by all your data? The Snowflake will support both structured and semi-structured data. Snowflake is going to support both structured and semi-structured data. What are the type of semi-structured data we have? JSON, XML, Avro, etc. Okay, so it's like a centralized data repository which can be accessed by the authorized users. Okay, and what is the storage capacity of this database? If you take this Oracle, what is the storage capacity? If the server is having 4 GB RAM, okay, 500 GB SSD. Okay, so what is the storage capacity of this database? The same. So this data, you can process the data with the help of this 4 GB RAM. You can store up to 500 GB data. Okay, where in Oracle. And again, coming to here, what is the storage capacity of this, guys? It's infinity. It's infinity. Okay, they have n number of data centers, they have n number of servers, so there is no limit for the storage. I can say the storage capacity of this cloud provider is infinity. So now what is the storage capacity of the Snowflake? Simple, infinity only. You can store infinity data, infinity volume of data. There is no limitation for storage. Okay. Okay, so again, again, when it comes to computing, Snowflake will provide the VMs. Snowflake will, sorry, these cloud providers will provide the VMs for processing this query. Okay, now here, if I want to load a file, okay, assume I need a file. Let me go to last. Let me pick the file. Okay, now assume this is a 1 GB file. Okay, now if I want to load this 1 GB file, it takes 10 minutes. Now in the next day I got 1 TB file. Okay, here the time will be 4 hours. Why? I'm using 4 GB RAM. Okay, so here I cannot control the compute. Okay, whatever the files we are getting or whatever the data we are getting, that will be processed with this on-premises server. Nothing but whatever the capacity of the RAM is there, that will be used for processing the file. If the size of the file is high, it takes more time. If the file is size is low, it takes less time. Okay, when it comes to Snowflake, you can choose the VM. You can choose the VM. Let me assume I have multiple VMs in my environment. Okay, one is 4 GB, one is 4 GB, and another one is 16 GB. Like that, I use this AWS EC2 machines or GCP VM machines for processing the data. Now, if I want to process 1 TB file, I can use 16 GB VM. Okay. If I want to process 1 GB file, I can use 4 GB. So here I can customize my VMs. Okay. Type based on the requirement, I can change my VMs anytime for processing the data into Snowflake. When it comes to on-premises, you cannot do like that. Due to that, there is a scalability issue here. But here, so there is the scalability is too high. So that is the difference between this on-premises server and the Snowflake. Okay, first one, it's a cloud based platform. Second one, okay, it's a data platform. I can access everything through SQL. Okay, and the last one is SaaS. Okay, this is a SaaS model. Okay, if you take Oracle, okay, if you take the Oracle, okay, so this Oracle, if well, I assume I have done 5 years business, 5 years in Chasna. So this 500 GB is full. Now what I need to do? Again, I need to purchase one new server, 1 TB or 2 TB server. Again, I need to do some migration activity. And if there is any new versions available in the Oracle, I need to down the application. I need to do the version upgradations, right? Here, I'm not going to do anything like that. Okay, the storage capacity is infinity, so I don't need to migrate to any new server. Second thing, all the patching activities, migration activities, security things will be taken care by Snowflake. So no need of downing any application here. So Snowflake is a completely SaaS product. Okay, so if you want to tell the Snowflake definition in a simple way, Snowflake is cloud native data platform, and SaaS model. Okay, Snowflake is a cloud native data platform and a SaaS model. So Snowflake completely work with one of the cloud provider. Okay, whatever the data you want to store and process, you can do everything through SQL, and it's a SaaS model. You don't need to worry about the infrastructure or the security or the access part. Everything will be taken care by Snowflake. Just you need to build the application and you can run those application in the Snowflake itself. So that's it about Snowflake. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Right? Okay, so yeah, that's it guys about the introduction. Okay, so the classes will start tomorrow at the same time. Okay, who are interested